Welcome to Tim's Time. Well, by the time you see this, as we begin another week together, Super Bowl Sunday would have come and gone, and billions of dollars would have been spent on advertisements and commercials. People will be talking about those in the workplace. The Super Bowl parties that are all across the country are going to be over. I remember the very first Super Bowl I was able to watch. You need to know I did not grow up with parents who were big sports fans. They liked baseball, but they never really understood basketball, football, any of the other sports. And so I just kind of found my way into football and chose my teams. And the first Super Bowl I ever watched was Super Bowl V. My uncle JP invited me down to his house, and I went over. It was a big deal. The games were still played on Sunday afternoon, so I could walk the quarter of a mile or whatever it was from our place when we retired down to Grandma and Uncle JP's house. And so I walked down there on that Sunday. Mama and Daddy let me go, and JP had a pot. He was going to pop some popcorn. Now this is Super Bowl V, and this is a long time ago, and it's back in the day. It's when you got that popcorn, you poured it in the pot, and then you put your own little oil in it, and you would shake it over the eye of the stove until it popped. Well, he popped, I know, 2 or 3 big pots worth of popcorn, and we had bowls everywhere and plenty of sweet tea, and it was like the biggest game I had ever watched. The Colts, by the way, beat the Cowboys, in case you're wondering. A rookie field goal kicker named Jim O'Brien kicked a last-second field goal, and the Colts won Super Bowl V. The Super Bowl's really taken off since then. That was the biggest game for me, and it's become even bigger now with halftime performances, and you experienced it last night. People who don't even like football watch the Super Bowl. Anyway, what does that have to do with your week and your personal walk with Jesus? And in particular, what does it have to do with this? Well, a couple things. First of all, Uncle JP asked me, as I recall, either on a Wednesday or a Thursday, he had come down the street to feed cows, as I recall, and he asked me, was I going to watch the game? Mom and Daddy probably weren't going to watch the game, and he invited me, and they gave me permission. The whole week, I looked forward to that day. I mean, it was an event. I marked my life by it, almost. Oh my goodness, just 2 more days until I go for the Super Bowl. Boy, I get to see the Super Bowl. Man, I'm going to experience something this weekend that I never, ever thought I was going to be able to experience. I get to watch the Super Bowl. That's sort of 432 to me. 432 reminds me each and every day that I get to talk to the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. I get to place my values in the right order of priority. I get to show him what's most important, that he's most important in my life. And then I get to remind myself that I don't dare leave the quietness and face the world that I'm going to face without first having spent some time praying for his blessing and his presence and his guidance. Second thing is, I just usually take about every 6 to 9 months and hold this sticker up and remind you of how Tim's time started and how we began this whole thing. We felt like we needed God to intervene in our church in a new way, in a financial way, in a relationship way, and in a personal way. And so we chose Acts 4:32 as our Bible verse to lead us through that prayer emphasis. We handed out these stickers, and many of you have them on your windshields, and you're reminded that either 4:32 p.m. or 4:32 a.m., some specific point of your day is your 4:32 where you stop and you pray for God's blessing. You know what? God has shown up this last year or so, and he has provided, and he has blessed, and he has moved. And I think he's on the verge of moving in newer ways as we face into this future. And so, as we began last week, if we're going to experience everything that we're going to experience, the real life God wants for us, not the matrix, then we're going to have to commit ourselves to what's first, what's most important, where prayer fits into our lives. And so, I want to remind you, I want to challenge you. There's something you're getting ready to do. You have an opportunity this week to experience something that's much more important. It's even bigger than the Super Bowl. It's Jesus. I hope that you'll experience Him in a new, fresh way this week. And I hope you have a fantastic week.